Hello, we are eBay Mania and welcome to our first YouTube video. My name is Liana and I wanted to share with you how my boyfriend and I made our first $1,000 on eBay. First, let's talk about why we started this venture. My boyfriend Nick and I both work as well as raise 3 kids, which is a full-time job all by itself, as the parents out there already know. We wanted to start an additional revenue stream that we could work on from home. With inflation and 3 kids growing quickly and starting school and sports, our expenses began to increase, we would also love to travel and pursue our dreams. I'm sure most of you watching this have similar reasons. Many financial experts like Warren Buffett advise to start a passive income stream, so for us, we decided flipping items on eBay would be a good place to start. It is a great feeling to wake up to a profitable sale on eBay. Before we get into how we started and what we have learned on our journey so far, please drop a like or even subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. We are just getting started and any help promoting our new channel is very much appreciated. We plan to continue documenting our eBay journey and we will be sharing plenty more information in the future, so stay tuned. Now, let's get into how we started. My boyfriend Nick already had an eBay account set up to sell off excess hobby items and random things we didn't need anymore. With hobby items, Nick already had a good idea of the demand and the relative pricing, so that part was easy for him. We also sell items that the kids have outgrown or don't use anymore. It did not take long to realize that eBay can be a good side hustle, so in mid-January 2025, we started to look for good deals on items we could resell. We began our search on Facebook Marketplace. The items were local and we were dealing with people looking to make quick cash, so negotiating pricing was an option for us to get items to resell for a decent profit. So far, we have had the most success finding profitable items on the Facebook Marketplace. Other sources we have tried or heard about include thrift stores, flea markets, overstock stores, garage sales, and estate sales. All of these have good potential, especially garage and estate sales, but those have been few and far between during the winter in the Midwest since we started taking eBay more seriously. That being said, with just one major source for items on Facebook Marketplace, we've generated over $1,000 in sales in our first month, and we plan to continue to scale that given our early success. One way we plan to do so is to use estate sales, store closings, and liquidation platforms to get profitable items to list at higher volumes. As far as the items we look out for, we did not do much research at first with what actually sells on eBay, and our first buy was a big box of old books. We found the box of old books on the marketplace. We bought about 150 books for $40, and they have not been very successful. We've only sold about 3 of them so far. Although they were still profitable at the price we paid per book, we wanted something that would sell faster. This is why research is so important if you're going to start listing items for resale on eBay. After this learning experience, we decided to do a little more research and we purchased our first lot of Blu-ray DVDs and found more success there. However, we found that these were still pretty slow selling even though they got much better traction than the books. We purchased around 50 Blu-rays for about $40 and that's about 80 cents per Blu-ray. We would call that a moderate success, considering they each sell for about $7 to $10. This brought us to what has been our most successful item category to date, video games. Video games tend to sell fast, there are many available on Facebook Marketplace, and you can find good deals on lots, leading to higher profits per item. Video games also tend to be uniform in weight and size, so shipping is easy, and this leads us to our next topic. The shipping aspect of eBay can be intimidating at first. If you do not know the weight or the size of the package you'll be shipping your item in, it seems like eBay is throwing a lot at you with all the questions it asks about shipping during the listing. We definitely lost money in the beginning because we didn't calculate our shipping correctly. Although, looking back on it now, it would not have been hard to get right, but hindsight is 20/20, as they say. A lot of people who do eBay suggest doing free shipping, but we do not advise jumping right into free shipping for a few reasons. It is better to start with the small, lower dollar items, and free shipping on a $7 DVD you paid 80 cents for can eat up all your profit. We do like to sell lower dollar items if it is in higher profit percentage-wise. For instance, let's take one of our Blu-rays we paid about 80 cents for. Even when sold on the lower end at $7 with free shipping, you can easily make 100% of your profit after shipping, taxes, and eBay fees. If you have the customer pay shipping at about $5, that can quickly become 400 to 500% profit or even more, and we've noticed customers don't seem to mind paying shipping on lower dollar items. A good way to save on shipping that we wish we would have capitalized on sooner is to buy your shipping labels through eBay. At first, we were packaging items, bringing them to the post office to have them print labels and ship the items for us. This is hands down the most expensive way to ship things. When you buy the shipping labels through eBay, you get a significant discount. You also save time and money, not having to drive back and forth to the post office. You do need to be able to weigh the package and get the physical dimensions in order to do this. We still use a kitchen scale and a tape measure we had laying around for this. We also bought a label printer with some of our initial profits. However, this is not necessary as you can just use a regular printer and tape the label to the package. Another nice part of buying the label through eBay is that eBay will automatically upload the tracking number to the sold listing, which can help save time and avoid mistakes when entering tracking numbers manually. We mentioned earlier using some of our initial profits to reinvest in our side hustle when talking about the label printer we purchased, and we consider this as best practice. We do this by doing item research, buying inventory, and keeping a steady supply of listings to keep the sales coming in. This allows us to experiment with new types of items to list and allows us to buy higher dollar items, which lead to higher dollar transactions. Some higher dollar items we have begun to experiment with include larger lots for my boyfriend's hobby, Warhammer, large lots of electronics, which have both been very successful. So that is how we made our first $1,000 on eBay. And it has been nice, especially after a rough 2024 and the current state of the economy. Now this brings us to the final part of this video. Having achieved our first $1,000 in sales with relatively high profits, we thought we would offer our advice to anyone who was in the same boat as we were just a few months ago. Please take everything we say with a grain of salt. We are just getting started, but we have achieved moderate success in a short time period, and we are an open book. Our first bit of advice is to just get started. eBay accounts are free and easy to make, and we all have things laying around that we don't use anymore that might be worth a few bucks. One man's trash is another man's treasure, after all. One thing to keep in mind is that when you make a new eBay account and you make your first few sales, eBay will hold your fund for up to 14 days until you prove yourself to be a reliable seller. So be aware of that if you'd like to make money faster than the holding period when you're first getting started. This period does pass quickly after your first few successful sales, and eBay will start paying you out much faster. So the earlier you get started selling, the better. Another reason we advise you to start right away is because it is easy to consume information, but in order to get good at anything, you need to actually start doing it, and just getting started is the hard part. Once you have made your first few listings, it will be easy from there on out. We do advise you to start with what you know. If you are selling excess items from around the house, you probably are already doing that. As I said previously, before we got into this, my boyfriend had some of his old excess hobby items. We already had some inherent knowledge of value and demand, as well as quite a bit of excess he was not going to use. So it was a great learning experience for him to start understanding eBay, and those items also proved to be highly profitable. One mistake we made that would be a good one to learn from is how to do your research before you start listing. It is important to understand how to look up items under the sold and completed filters on eBay so you know sold for, price, shipping, and the sell-through rate. We advise people to learn how to ship profitably. We touched on this a bit earlier, but there is much more to it. Once you understand what shipping costs and if you are willing to do free shipping or not, it is also important to take care with how you ship things. You do not want items damaged during shipping, as negative reviews and returned items will make customers less likely to buy from you again, as well as eating into your profits. Our final bit of advice is to buy your shipping labels through eBay. As mentioned earlier, you get the eBay discount, and it will save you a lot of time and money going to and from the post office. One last thing we would advise, although it may not be extremely necessary, is to reinvest some of your initial profits into purchasing a label printer. They are affordable, compact, and the labels look a lot more official than regular printer label taped to a package. Not to mention, it is satisfying and easy to use. Reinvesting your profits back into your business or side hustle is almost always a good way to increase profits in the future. We consider this as best practice as well as key to growing your business. So that's the why, the how, and the best advice we have to offer so far. We hope this video has helped and wish you the best of luck in your reselling adventure. If you enjoyed this video, thank you for staying this long, and please feel free to like and subscribe so you can continue to follow along on our journey. Thanks for watching.